Welcome to Hidden Empires, the channel that uncovers the untold stories of self-made billionaires. From toy sellers to tech visionaries, from forgotten failures to global empires, we reveal the strategies, risks, and turning points that built fortunes.
Welcome to the show. Today's question is, who's the most successful person you've never heard about? You submit your answers in a community tab. Most popular ones get featured, like this one did. And today's video is about Pablo Legarreta. He grew up in Mexico City, far from Wall Street's trading floors. After studying engineering, he began his career in investment banking in New York. He wasn't a doctor, but he had a sharp eye for how money flowed in healthcare, and one day he noticed something strange. Pharmaceutical companies often sold future drug royalties in private deals, but there was no marketplace for them. In that gap, Pablo saw an empire. His friends thought he was crazy. Why would anyone fund a company that bought the rights to future drug sales? How could he possibly prove that this would work? But instead of listening to the naysayers, Pablo kept iterating on his idea. He wanted investors to fund a vehicle that would buy small pieces of drugs with guaranteed sales, not unlike owning shares of a blue-chip company. He called it Royalty Pharma. But without proof that this could work, investors were skeptical. It was almost impossible to get funding. People just didn't get it. They thought it was just too risky. But Pablo believed if he could just demonstrate that his idea could work on a small scale, then investors would come around. So instead of giving up, he bootstrapped. By 1994, Pablo had a breakthrough. He met a big pharma company who agreed to sell him a piece of one of their drugs, a treatment for anemia. It was a big deal. This gave Pablo proof of concept. With this tiny piece of this one drug, he started pitching investors again. And finally, they came around. They saw the potential. In 1996, he founded Royalty Pharma with the help of $40 million from 10 investors. He used that money to buy small pieces of 15 different blockbuster drugs. His plan was to hold these pieces like blue-chip stocks, buying and selling small pieces of lots of different drugs rather than trying to develop and commercialize a drug on his own. It might not have been as glamorous, but it was a lot less risky. And as Pablo built his business, the world began to take notice. At first, investors were wary. This was uncharted territory. But as Royalty Pharma proved that they could make money in good times and bad, investors flocked to the industry. By 2020, Royalty Pharma was a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut. That year, the company went public in one of the largest U.S. biotech IPOs ever. Pablo took the company public to raise money to buy even more royalties. By 2021, Pablo controlled the largest buyer of biopharmaceutical royalties in the world. His company owned pieces of more than 150 drugs, including some of the best-selling drugs of all time. Pablo is worth several $billion, having made hundreds of millions every year for over a decade. And Pablo's success didn't go unnoticed. Big pharma companies began to call him the drug king without the drugs because he owned pieces of so many blockbuster drugs. He had outsized influence over the entire life sciences industry. To this day, Pablo keeps working, spending his days at his office in Manhattan looking for the next big thing. So what can we learn from Pablo's story? Sometimes the biggest opportunities are hiding in plain sight, in the spaces between industries. He didn't invent a drug, he invented a new market. Look for the overlooked, and ask, who's connecting the dots here? If the answer is no one, it could be you. Thank you for watching this episode.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe, like, and comment so others might find and enjoy these videos. Go to description below for more resources and information. Thanks for your time.